Wish you could learn faster, even when you're totally unmotivated? In this episode of Earworm English, we're revealing how to learn anything 5x faster using science-backed strategies that actually work. From making learning fun and relevant, to using the 80-20 rule, spaced repetition, and sneaky little cheat codes, this episode is packed with practical tips to boost your brain power and beat procrastination. Before we jump in, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's one thing you've always wanted to learn but keep putting off? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stick around to the end and let's make learning easier, faster, and way more fun.
Ever get that feeling like you're trying to learn something new, but your brain just wants to keep scrolling, through those endless funny videos online? It can be like a real uphill battle to make information stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're diving into how to make learning faster and more effective so you can actually absorb what you need without the struggle.
I like it. Sounds good.
Our mission is simple. We're going to extract the key strategies from this video about learning anything 5 times faster and give you those actionable steps.
Sounds like a plan.
So the video starts off with this interesting analogy. It says to think about your brain like the TikTok algorithm.
Oh.
Right?
Right.
It prioritizes content that's fun, emotional, or useful. So if what you're trying to learn feels kind of dry, it's going to be a harder sell to get your brain to actually pay attention.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Right. I mean, I know when I'm trying to study something that I'm not really thrilled about, suddenly checking my phone seems incredibly appealing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make it fun somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we hack that?
So the first key is to tap into those engagement triggers. The video suggests making learning, fun and relevant to you. So let's say you're learning a new language. Maybe try using it when you're messaging friends.
Okay, yeah.
Even if it's just like a few phrases here and there, suddenly it has a real world purpose, right?
Right. You're actually using it.
Exactly. Or if history feels like just a big list of dates to you, try watching like a gripping documentary on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
It can make it much more memorable if you can bring the subject to life a bit.
For sure. For sure.
And there's even research that shows that gamifying learning with things like streaks and rewards can actually really help boost your engagement.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
Yeah.
It's about making it less of a chore and more like something you want to do.
Exactly.
So the video also mentions the 80-20 rule. Can you explain how focusing on efficiency can help you learn faster?
Yeah, so this basically relates to something called the Pareto principle. It says that often, a small amount of input leads to a large amount of output. So in terms of learning, this means you really want to try and identify that 20% of information that will give you 80% of the results. Like if you're learning a language for travel, focusing on the most common vocabulary and phrases will get you much further faster than trying to memorize like every single word.
Right.
Or if you're studying for exams, looking at past papers can help you pinpoint the key concepts that are likely to come up again. It's about being strategic with your time and energy.
Right. So it's not just working harder, it's working smarter.
Exactly.
Love that. So we're making it engaging. We're focusing on what matters most. What's the next part of this faster learning approach?
So the video outlines what it calls a 3-step cheat code.
Ooh, cheat code. I like it. Yeah.
So the first part is to teach it like you're explaining to a 5-year-old.
Okay.
This forces you to understand the core of the concept in a really simple way.
Yeah.
If you can't explain it without using like all sorts of jargon, you probably don't understand it deeply enough yourself.
Oh, that's a good point.
So try explaining a concept you've just learned to someone who has no background in it.
Okay, so like test yourself, basically.
Exactly.
That's a great way to check your own understanding. What are the other 2 steps?
All right. So the second is what they call the 2-minute rule to tackle procrastination. The idea is to tell yourself you'll only work on the task for just 2 minutes. Often, just getting started helps you overcome that initial resistance, and you'll usually end up working for much longer anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, tell yourself you'll just read 1 page of that assignment or practice that skill for 2 minutes. That makes the barrier to entry feel a lot lower. And finally, there's something called spaced repetition. So our brains naturally forget information over time. It's just a thing.
Right, of course.
But reviewing material at increasing intervals, like a few hours after you learn it, then a day later, then a few days later, this helps to actually solidify it in your long-term memory much more effectively than, like last-minute cramming.
Right. So it's about consistency and spreading out the review.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, the video also touches on motivation. It says it's not always the most reliable thing. Why is that?
Right. So what's really fascinating here is the focus on building sustainable habits rather than relying on, fleeting motivation. Think about it. Some days you're super motivated, some days you're not. That's just how it is. To learn consistently, you really need to try and create an environment that actually supports learning. Like, do you want to read more? Leave books in places you relax.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Want to practice an instrument? Keep it easily accessible. Trying to avoid distractions while studying. Use website blockers on your computer. It's about making the desired behavior the default rather than waiting for the right mood or whatever to strike.
I see. So it's about making it easier for yourself to do the things you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. This has been incredibly insightful. So to quickly recap, we talked about making learning fun and relevant.
Right.
Tapping into your brain's natural engagement preferences. We talked about focusing on the crucial 20% for maximum impact.
Yep.
And then we talked about the 3-step cheat code.
Yeah.
Simplify explanations, start small, use spaced repetition.
Love it.
And then lastly, build learning habits instead of just relying on motivation.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So do you have anything to add?
Just, pick one of these strategies and try implementing it today. See how it changes your learning experience.
And on that note, here's something to consider. If you could learn anything more efficiently, what new doors of knowledge would that open for you? What would you explore?
Good question.
Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Until next time.
See ya.